I couldn't be more excited to be here with my personal triathlete hero. Dale is unbelievable. You know, I think I was training for my first triathlon maybe 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. We were both going to go do the Kona 70.3.
That's right.
And you're there training, and I'm pretty sure we finished pretty close together. And you know, you're 20 some odd years older than me. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
When did you do your first triathlon? How old were you?
Probably I started when I was 56.
56.
Yeah.
And that's a half iron, 70.3.
That's
For
right.
people who don't know, you're swimming 1.2 miles, you're biking 56, and then you're running a half marathon.
That's right. So I think you're never too old to start. But I think how I got into it, I got into running, I got into marathons, then I moved to Mercer Island, I got into biking, and it seemed to, you know, why not combine swimming? So I took some swimming lessons, and that's what got us started.
Yeah, I remember we were in the pool, and you just kept getting faster, faster each time.
That's right.
And then,
yeah.
And then, so this year, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you right now?
76.
76.
Right.
And you're going to do a couple triathlons this year?
Yeah, I'm doing one in about a week's time, then I'm going up to Whistler in July, and then I got into the World's Half Ironman Championship in Nice, France in September, so that's hard to turn that down.
So the World Championship in Nice,
Right.
that's unbelievable.
Right.
And so how often are you training?
Probably do something every day.
Okay.
Like yesterday I biked for 3 hours and ran for a half hour. Today I just swam for an hour, so I'm sort of tapering because I have a race coming up.
Sure.
So I do something every day.
Okay.
And you tend to, I mean, of the three sports, I probably used to like the running best, though I've slowed down, but biking's probably my strongest, and my weakest is swimming, as you know, because we swam together in the pool. But I think you just keep practicing, trying new techniques.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I've done 5 half Ironmans in my lifetime. I'm pretty proud of that. I think it's pretty good. To do 5 this year is unbelievable. And so you finished the Kona half Ironman and qualified to do the full Kona Ironman.
I did the full Ironman in 2010, and then did another one 4 years later. But it takes a lot to train for a full Ironman.
Yeah.
Since you have to go like on the weekend for a 5-hour bike ride. So the half Ironman is much easier because you can sort of recover very quickly. You don't do much training.
Yeah. In the full Ironman, I think it's important for people to know there's Ironmans and then there's Ironmans. I mean, when you say the full Ironman, that was Kona.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everything. That's like did
That's
you
the
fish
top.
in the daytime, in the dark, in the?
That's right. So you sort of, to do the full Ironman Championship, you have to qualify, becomes first in your age group, or the person that doesn't want to roll down. But it's sort of a really select group of people.
Yeah, it is. I figure the only way that I can possibly qualify is if I can stay somewhat fit and active, so I can do it sometime in my 70s. You're fast. I mean, you're faster than I am. And so when you did the full Kona Ironman, that's a tough race.
It is. Very tough.
That is. How do you compare that to other half Ironmans? Because that was a full Ironman, but how'd you keep going? I mean, that's a tough.
Well, I
deal.
think that the race really begins after the swim, and you have to do you're doing a 112-mile bike ride in the heat. Yeah. And then you have to run 26 miles. I think what you have to do is try to keep well hydrated and good nutrition on the bike, and then for the run, the way I used to say, just 1 mile at a time. You can't think I got 24 miles. You have to think one at a time. So you just have to sort of I just count to 20 on like one finger and 20 on my other. Just have to. So perseverance.
I like it. 1 mile at a time, and I think one of the things, at least for me, is as you get a little bit older each year, you get a few more aches and pains. I mean, are you just a genetic freak where you've just been gifted with this body that can keep doing these things, or do you get bumps and bruises and feel stiff along the way? Like, how's your body
every
holding
once
up?
in a while you get sort of a stiff knee or a stiff elbow or something like that, and you sort of have to. One thing is, when you started doing these triathlons, you sort of become an exercise addict, and you sort of want to train all the time. But I think if you really have an injury, you really need to slow down and take it easy. But it's sort of hard because you're sort of driven.
And if you were to look at the total number of triathlons, just a ballpark, that not sprints and not Olympic, but going half Ironman or longer. How many have you done now?
Probably over 30.
Over 30.
Yeah.
Okay. And your first triathlon you did back in 1999?
Yeah, that's 20 years ago.
20 years ago. So that's a pretty good average per year.
So I signed up for the same one, but it turned out I was the only one in my age group. So I said, I'm not going to compete if I'm the only one. I like some competition.
You could be number one.
I know, I don't want to do that.
Hey, anytime you're on the triathlon, course, you're competing. There's all kinds of people to compete with.
And no matter what age group, there's always, in my age group, I know the next 5 or 6 people are really good. So you're sort of, I look them up and you're sort of, how can I beat this guy and that guy? So it's really competitive. Just like when you play tennis, you just move up the ladder. Yeah,
for sure. Well, if there was one tip that you could, kind of give to our viewing audience, who may have not ever done a triathlon before, maybe thinking about doing one for the first time, like what advice would you give?
I think the advice is you just need to do all the three, the swimming, the biking, and running, and you tend to sort of not do the thing you hate the worst. So if you're a poor swimmer, you probably said, I'm going to spend more time on the bike or the run. So I think you should really sort of try to work on your weakness as well.
Try to balance it out.
And the other thing too is I think it's nice if you can get with a team. Because team, because there's lots of teams around this area, and they encourage each other, and then you have somebody to train with from time to time. And that's helpful too. It's hard to just do it on your own.
Yeah, great. That's good to know. Well, Dale, you are my personal triathlete hero. I'm so glad to know you. Thank you for taking time with us. It's unbelievable.